If you pay attention, you'll see that the Lord tests you through every aspect of life, right? And what I mean by that is just like, let's say, the school system. If you notice, each part of life that you venture through, you are always tested with harder, more complex, tests of your character, right? Of your mind, right? Of the condition of your heart and your soul, or what have you. For instance, we all go through certain stages of our character development, adolescence, preteen, young adult, right? Prime adult, I call it, and then older adult, which, starts happening as you start venturing toward your mid 40s. And you're tested with how you handle certain situations during the earliest stages of your character development, and then where your character development should be by the time you reach prime adult, and of course, older or elder adult, right? You're tested how you respond in these situations when you have it all, right? When you're at the top of your game, right? When you're financially stable, or hopefully financially free, right? When you are placed in positions of power and authority, right? And you're tested, at each level, and you're allotted grace. It seems like, depending on the level that you're at. Sometimes, guys, I just get up here and ramble these thoughts. I don't always know how to articulate them the best, but I know the Lord will let you get what I'm trying to say. But what I'm saying is, of course, let's say adolescents may be tested in certain aspects of their character, but it's not expected to be perfect, and they, of course, are allowed a lot of grace, right? But by the time you get to the prime of your life, and definitely elder status, the Lord still allows grace, but it's like the punishment will be more severe because you have to learn that lesson. And if you haven't learned it, it means your development spiritually, mentally, emotionally, or what have you, has been arrested somewhere along the line. So you're going to learn a severe lesson so that you get the wisdom through pain. Pain will change your mind and your heart, right? To start making the decision that you're supposed to make. Here recently, later this year, I turned 44, and I've just noticed the things that I used to be able to do, in my earlier years are not as easy. I love working out. I'm a very active person. I also love standing up for things I believe in with vigor, right, and passion, right? But what I've learned is it doesn't always come as easily as it once did, right? So, for instance, I have to worry about things such as blood pressure now. I have to worry about aches and pains in my limbs and joints, that I've gotten over the years, being this extremely masculine man that I've always strived to be, right? And so that tests my resolve and my character from a whole nother perspective. I have to grow, right? I have to figure out new ways to, stay in shape, right? I have to figure out new ways to, show my passion and stand up for what I believe in without putting too much strain on the body. I have to take my health more seriously than I did in my younger years. And so this shifts my perspective because I'm not used to this. I know a lot of times the young people, they look at you and they just see you as being older. And it's like they just kind of expect you to know how to be older without understanding you yourself have not been older before. So it's a new test, right? Is anybody else noticing that? Is anybody else paying attention to how in life the tests match your age? The soul has to learn how to navigate the temporal flesh and world as the body, goes through its different stages. And you can pass or fail depending on the choices you make. And just like in school, passing a lot of times means you move on to that next level, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, a lot of times financially. Failing, unfortunately, means you go around the same circles. You can't move on. You can't move forward. You can't enjoy life the way you want to without taking care of your health, right? Without passing those mental, emotional tests on your job or with your family, without giving those apologies. Relationships can't be repaired. And a lot of times, unfortunately, failing could even mean, passing away because you don't take care of your health, right? You don't understand that you cannot respond to a dangerous situation like you did when you were younger. So this is just something, guys, I want to kind of pass on to you to get your mind in a different frame of thinking if it's not already there. If it is there, comment below. Tell me what you're noticing about your different phases and stages in life, young or old. All right. Well, I hope this blessed you guys with love. This is the man after God's own heart. Peace. And always remember, Lord Jesus cares.